Shutter Mag. Thank you so much for reading my article on getting published. We are going to talk a little bit about detail pictures here because, as we mentioned, detail pictures are one of the biggest things that publishers are looking for when they're considering your wedding for publication. First of all, I like to shoot my detail pictures most of the time with my 50mm 1.2. I like the way it looks. I feel that it gives a good range for how close or how far away I want to get to my subject. Secondly, you want to make sure that you have your lighting so that you can actually see the detail in the pictures that you're taking of the details. So for example, I have a pair of bride's shoes here. Normally I will photograph them next to a window, and I'm looking for side light for the most part so that I can see the nooks and crannies and details of the shoes. I'll most likely do the same thing with all the pieces of jewelry, particularly the ring when I'm using a macro lens. When I photograph the ring with the macro lens, I use a Sigma 70mm 2.8. I do like to use reflectors as well, so that I don't have such a harsh contrast between the light and the dark when I'm shooting details. If I'm shooting a ring picture, I use this small impact reflector, tiny little thing, and normally I am using the silver side. If I am photographing something larger, I will use this flash point reflector. It's a 5-in-1 reflector that I got from Adorama.com. The receptions I do shoot differently because most of the time when I'm shooting a reception it is already dark outside, or I'm in a New Jersey venue where there aren't many windows, if any at all. So when I am shooting reception details, I do like to use a flash. I use a CANON SPEEDLITE transmitter with a radio popper on top, and it goes right onto my camera's hot shoe. This will trigger the flashes that I have around, and I carry 2 flashes. The 2 flashes, I use the Canon 580 EX2 series, and I use 2 of these on either side of whatever detail I'm photographing, whether it's the cake or centerpieces or any other little details that I find at the reception. So for a picture like this of the cake, I had 2 flashes on either side of the cake with a zoom of 70mm on ETTL. Typically my exposure for a picture like that is around 400 on the ISO, 2.5 on my aperture, and then my shutter for whatever I need it to be to get to a low ISO and a low aperture. I hope that helps to clarify how I shoot details and how you can shoot details so that publishers notice them and you're getting the most detail out of those details. I'll see you next month for the next issue of Shutter Mag.